Celtics Game Highlight is presented by T-Mobile.
Rozier from the corner. Good play by Martin, huh? Yeah, he gets his own miss, finds Rozier, and he sticks a three. Jeez. That's the fourth three he's hit in the game. 22 on the night.
There we go. Al Horford finally held that follow through.
10 in the shot clock. Schroeder. Shoot it. Brown does. Got it.
Oh, man, that's a tough baseline fadeaway.
Schroeder in a hurry. Lost it. Oubre. Oh, good play. Up top, though, and thrown down.
Come on. The rest of the guys got to hustle back.
Yep. Pritchard in the paint. Richardson. Yes. They needed that. Because that was a miserable possession up until that point. Now back to Freedom. Mismatch against McDaniels. Ennis trying to back his way in. Does. Puts it out. Down it. Oh. And a foul.
Freedom showing the muscle.
Rozier. He's going to take it. No, he gets to the corner of the ball. Open shot. He knocked it down.
Whoa.
Ball. But just never gives up the dribble. Oubre. Get out of here. Williams. Bridges defending. Tatum. Brown. Knocks down a three.
Jaylen Brown makes big shots.
Tatum. Lost it. Bridges found it. Celtics going to score every possession here. 2:55 to go. Brown. Corner. It's a 6-point game. Down to 10 in the shot clock. Rozier. Ball, a three. Another. Rozier with 10 on the clock. Schroeder poking at him. Rozier takes it.
Oh, drained. Unreal.
111 to 102. They are one happy bunch.
T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Welcome into Celtics post-game live presented by your New England Ford dealers. Chris Mannix, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics lose this one to the Hornets, 111 to 102. And Mannix, we knew that this was going to be a tough matchup for this Celtics team. Your biggest takeaway after this loss?
Well, the defense failed them. We can get into some of the offensive numbers, and they're pretty gruesome, especially when it comes to three-point shooting. But the Hornets shoot close to 49% from the floor, better than 41% from three-point range. They just got it done. And strangely, they got it done largely playing in the half court. The Hornets are one of the best up-tempo teams in the NBA, averaging around 15 fast break points per game. Only had 9 in this one. That tells me their execution was really good in the half court, and the Celtics' defensive execution just wasn't there. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm often focused on that end of the floor with this team, and allowing the Hornets to shoot 49%, that's not a good number.
Yeah, and Terry Rozier had his way with the Celtics.
Why can't we get guys like that?
I know. Well,
love guys like Terry.
Once had a guy like that, 28 points and 10 assists. Just how was he able to have his way with the Celtics on the floor?
Look, he has been an excellent scorer in his time in Boston. He's taken that scoring in these last 2.5 years. He's been down in Charlotte. Terry, there's not a lot of sizzle to him necessarily. He's not going to beat you with tremendous athleticism. He's just kind of shifty out there. He gets to his spots, and when he gets there, he knows how to finish. He's got a good, excellent three-point shot, as we saw tonight, and he just has that scorer's mentality that when he has it going, he is going to be able to beat you in multiple different ways.
And what about the pace that Terry Rozier plays with? Because it felt like at times that the Celtics just could not keep up with him at all out there on the court.
It's not even a fast pace that Terry plays with. I'd almost compare the pace he plays with something like Chris Paul, where it's sort of just probing, finding his spots, and getting to where he wants to go. And he did that many different times in this game tonight. And that three-point shot, I mean, that was tremendous. The step to the side, knocked down a three-pointer. We've seen Jason Tatum do that a lot in his career. Terry Rozier has become very good at that shot as well.
And in the second and third quarters of this game, the Celtics were outscored 61-47 by the Hornets. Just how much of this game was lost during that time chunk?
Well, you felt pretty good about the Celtics' chances after the first quarter. They had a 2-point lead. The Hornets were only shooting 1 for 7 from three-point range. Then in that second quarter, the wheels kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. It was a 31-21 second quarter for the Charlotte Hornets. They got that three-point shot going. I mentioned that 1 for 7 start. They finished up 41% from three, so they were able to start getting some consistency. Miles Bridges, who's the best scorer on that team, got it going. Gordon Hayward, who had a very sluggish first half, he got it going a little bit in that second half. And there you see Terry Rozier, once again, just making plays, getting to the basket, creating offense for himself and for others. That's a very good offensive team. We talked about this early or in the pregame show, and they showed all of their versatility in this game against Boston.
And Josh Richardson tried to get something going, finished the game with 10 points. Just how did he try to impact this game and really get the Celtics back into it?
He tried. He was pulling up from three a lot. He made some key shots. Dennis Schroeder made some key shots, especially in that fourth quarter where they got to within 6 points, but just not enough defense from these guys. I mean, we can point to individual numbers, certain spurts during the game, but collectively, they just didn't get the job done on the defensive end of the floor in that half court, where the Hornets are not as prolific. They are a tremendous fast break team, but in the half court, they just out-executed the Celtics in this one.
Yeah, very surprising that the defense was a question for the Celtics in this matchup. Let's bring in Scal, who's live inside of TD Garden. And Scal, you predicted that this would be a tough matchup for this Celtics team. You actually picked the Hornets to win. Your biggest takeaway after this loss?
Well, in these type of games, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, those guys are so valuable. When you have teams that can have 5 guys that can score close to 20 points, you need to have versatility out there. And the Celtics could not do that. And I thought the Hornets did a really good job of picking on the matchup that they wanted to go to. So, I mean, when you're in a situation like that, you just got to knuckle down and try to get stops. And it felt like to me, LaMelo Ball went anywhere he wanted to on the floor. There was not a lot of times where he passed the ball where that ball was deflected. He didn't. I mean, I know he had a ton of turnovers, but it just felt like it was too easy for him today. And if you guard like that against this team, they're gonna kill you from three.
Scal, you know what would solve the Celtics' problems? Would getting a guy like Terry Rozier. Like, if you can just get your hands on a player like Terry Rozier, you'll be all right. I mean, this guy, Scal, we saw him in Boston for several years. He looked very good. He's taken his game to another level with Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, he plays with a ton of confidence. He can guard, he can get to his spots. Like, he still takes like some wacky shots sometimes. He's just getting better at making those now. So yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, you can go back and track the downfall of the Celtics from the time, you know, when they had the draft picks and they ended up trading it away to Kyrie, and then the decisions made from there. And one of those decisions was to let Terry Rozier walk. And you know, you can't tell me that whatever his number here would have been, it wouldn't be probably a better fit than what we have right now. So yeah, I mean, this is how it goes in the NBA. It's disappointing, but he is, you know, like, listen, he's still scary Terry to me. And I know, like, I was one of the guys that was always for Terry Rozier. I never went against him. A lot of people, oh, he's not going to be good. I just thought he got better every single year. And defensively, he got better. Offensively, started making shots. And I'll always remember that run, you know, where they had a chance to go to the finals. And, you know, he was a big part of that.
Took that team to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's proof positive the guy can play point guard.
Hey, Chris, how far are we away from Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals?
How far are you from me right now physically, Scal? That might be indicative.
Not far enough.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda with Terry Rozier, wishing that he was back on this roster.
You guys already without 2 starters tonight, and then you had Jason Tatum and Grant Williams in foul trouble. How difficult was that to navigate?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a balancing act there. Obviously being down two of our better defenders as well against a team like that really can get out and score in transition and in the half court. It hampered us a little bit with the foul trouble, but we had other guys that stepped in there. I think may have taken some of our aggression away on the offensive end with the defensive fouls, especially Jason a little bit there. So, not an excuse. Guys have to step up, and they did at times. And, we fought our way back into it several times and just didn't make enough shots.
Was it scheme against Jason?
What,
for them holding him down?
No, I think, honestly, a part of it was his foul trouble, so he wasn't as aggressive defensively. But, no, he's seen it all year, and you can count the number of wide-open shots he got. So, off night as far as that, going 0 for 7 from 3 with the great looks that he had. So I don't think it was as much of what they did defensively as an off night and maybe taking some of the aggression away because of the foul trouble.
You guys had been playing well coming into this game. What are the takeaways?
We grind our way back in it. Not playing our best or shooting our best. We still had a chance there at the end, getting it down to 5 and 6 a few times, and then, a few offensive rebound or a big 3 by them. Being down the bodies that you mentioned in the foul trouble, all the guys stepped up, and Dennis, Jalen, and some guys played well there, but just had to be a little bit more consistent and impact the game other ways when the shots aren't falling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A look at this 4-game homestand results. A win against the Bulls, a win against the Pelicans, but a loss tonight against the Hornets. This loss snaps the Celtics' 4-game home win streak. Ime talking about the foul trouble that Jason Tatum and Grant Williams were in during this game. How much do you think that factored into the lack of offense in this matchup?
Oh, it definitely factored into Jason Tatum's struggles in this game. And as Ime Udoka just said, his aggressiveness just wasn't there after he got into that foul trouble, picking up those 3 fouls in the first half. It's a little bit disappointing because, great players are able to kind of push through that, to find a way to get through that. I said this at halftime, this would have been a great moment for Jason Tatum to shake off that bad first half, come out and take over this game. He was, frankly, getting punked in that first half by Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre was not only scoring on him, but he was flexing, he was moving around, he was trying to show up Jason Tatum in that first half. I really would have loved to have seen Tatum take over, but he never could get into a rhythm offensively, and I think that's what ultimately cost the Celtics. They couldn't find enough offense, as Udoka just said, from everybody else.
Yeah.